Welcome, y'all. It's your guy, Jesus Hawthorne. I'd like to welcome y'all to Talk That Talk 254. Man, today, man, we got another banger. Man, we got Coach Carr.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on?
How you doing, sir, man? How's your day going?
Man, truly blessed, man. Truly blessed. Trying to stay there. Trying to
Awesome, man.
spread some of this positivity on everybody. So,
Yeah,
try
most
to,
definitely. Most definitely,
you know,
man. Hey, I definitely I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule, man, to go ahead and jump on here on 254 to talk that talk and willing to have an interview because a lot of people would love to hear what you have to say, man. Would have to say. So for those who don't know you, because the crazy part is we basically grew up together. Basically
fact,
did.
yeah, for real.
But for the audience that never met you, that don't know you, go ahead and break down who you are and who your siblings are and where y'all from.
Okay, I'm Gary Carr. My siblings are Sharika Carr, Timothy Carr. My brother's Freddie Woods. My father was Freddie Woods, so my brother was the second, and my mother was Darlene Carr. So our family was originally, my grandmother's from Mark, and my grandfather was from Mark, and my grandmother's from Fremont, and they got together, and then they raised my mom and them down in Waco. So I'm pretty much kin to a whole lot of people in Co, man. A lot of Davises, Emmanuels and Williams, and it's just a whole big family, man, here in Waco. So born and raised here, man.
Man, awesome. So in regarding of your parents and your siblings, man, like what type of roles did they play in your life? Like what type of impact did they in regarding of them building you as Coach Carr, the man you are today?
My mom, man. Oh, I go back to my mom, my great aunt, my grandfather's sister, Lillian Carr. Um, and she was in Lillian Green, but man, all those Greens too from Mark, man. And man, the Green side is Devin Miles and her sons, Matthew, and my cousin Chalisha and all of them. So, but having really sound uh, discipline, auntie and mother has played a part into who I am today. My mother's just always been a person that, treat people how you truly want to be treated, man. She's a woman of God. She always treated people right. And that was just how I was brought up, man. Ain't have no beefs, ain't had no issues with anybody. It was always respect. And I always got respect on every side of Waco, man. So yeah, my great mom, aunt and my mom really had a lot to do with who I am today. And just being sound, man, being a good person, being humble, being grateful, you know what I'm saying? So I was taught that at a very early age, my man. So that's who I am because of those two women.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. So testament to the mothers out there that's hands on in
Absolutely.
regarding of rearing these young men, man. Y'all keep doing an excellent job. So
Appreciate it.
in regarding like who was your homeboys growing up? And
Man, shit, man, it's crazy. And your friends change, based off your growth, and I would put these guys there,
yeah,
you look Paul Hall and Gannon, man, and Cliff
yeah,
Rose, my boys growing up in Parkside, then I had friends on the east side and whatever. But just my
yeah,
day one bros, man, Curtis Davis, Derek Harris, um, Cedric Whitaker, and Dave Ash, man, we've been friends for shit down 30 years or more. Me and Curtis since the second grade, like I've known you for so long, but
yep.
we still friends to this day, man. We stay in touch, man. We check on each other all the time, man. I post a lot of pictures of us doing a lot of things together, man. So that brotherhood is real for us. So
Yep.
those are my guys, and shout out to Dad Stewart,
Yep. Big
uh,
Dad.
Shannon Bennett, Bronche
Yep.
Miles, little man, says, boy, I can go on and on, man. Big Frank,
Man,
what's
hey,
going on, man? You know what? I'll say this. That brotherhood from
yeah,
back then, the hoop sessions we used to have, and you know about them, man. That was real.
yep,
That was a real brotherhood, man. A lot of guys that played, man. Twan Carlton, guys that we looked up to. So,
yep.
those guys really like kind of always was around and had some type of positive image for us because just being aligned and going to the high, that was a big thing. You seen them in the dude. You know what I'm saying? You seen him in the
Yep.
Bless. You seen him in the Boys and Girls
Yep.
Club and things like that. So man, deep connection with all those guys. Man, we got a huge group chat that we keep up with everybody with. You know, Boomer, Donnie. Man, I'm telling you, boy,
Yep.
it's just
Oh
crazy. But
man.
guys I grew up with,
But I ain't heard Boomer name in so long, boy.
man, I
But
ran the Boomer on
where he at
the
right
UCC
now?
track.
Where Boomer at?
Yeah, man, I ran into it on the track not too couple of weeks ago.
Oh
You know, I was
wow.
out there working out with my wife, man, and
Yeah.
he was out there getting in shape. And you know, we old, we got to try to stay out there, man.
Yeah. Got to. Man, that's dope to hear, man. All right. So we about to go ahead and transition. So what sports did you play growing up?
Man, I played football. Man, you know what's crazy? Football is my main sport, but I played
Football was your main
basketball
sport.
a lot. Yeah,
Okay.
man, I was all right, man. Seriously, I was
Okay.
really all right. If I'd have stuck with
What,
it,
yeah. What
I was a
position?
safety, man.
You was okay.
6'2" safety
Oh,
coming down and bring it.
you was you the new you was the camp chancellor back in that day, boy.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, I think I had a couple of concussions, man. I didn't know there was concussions, but they happened
At
though.
that time,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Getting people so hard to run your own bell, huh? Man.
Yeah, man. But
Okay, so
man,
what
go ahead.
grade did you decide that what your primary focus was basketball, and what made you choose basketball? With you being that height and good in football already, what made you choose basketball as a primary sport?
Man, just growing up and just knew family was everything, and the way Coach Jones was, man. Shout out to Coach Jones, man. I'm definitely
Yeah,
who I am because of him, man. I got
yeah,
a lot from my mom, my uncle, but Coach Jones definitely showed me that hard work pays off, but you got to want to work out, man. He taught me some valuable lessons about being a man of your word, also.
yeah,
So Coach Jones, man, and I was with the basketball guys all summer, Marvin was and Charles, and they were straight football guys, in my bros. But
yeah.
football was kind of they didn't do basketball like that. So I was always in the gym with Curtis and Dave and Little Man and Derek. So summertime was with those guys, man. So when we got back to the high, man, I screwed up one time. Coach Love and them we got us in trouble. And we had to bar call that big W. So that was an easy transfer over to the gym. So shout out to Coach
Woo.
Love too, man.
Yeah,
He's another good man that came across my life that taught me something about just doing things right. So yeah,
yeah,
man, that was what happened. I got scared in the minds of the basketball, man.
yeah. You said that's the last W I'm about to do. That's the last big.
No, I can't do that bar crawl like that, man. No, man.
Okay. So, what grade were you in when you actually got your first college offer, and what college did you finally select to go to?
You know what's crazy, man? And I don't tell a lot of people this story, man. I ain't have no offers at the high school, man.
Mm,
I was on the bench. I got a little time, but not a lot. But I just knew we were really good. You know that we had.
yeah,
I only think people know.
yeah,
I think we had 9 seniors and everybody went to college.
yeah.
And it wasn't all off basketball though. We got some smart dudes in that team too. That we had Kendrick Jones and freaking Bobo and
Yep,
some of these other guys. Man, we all actually went to college, man. So that was a big thing for Coach Jones also, making sure we did something. But man, if it's almost like one of those stories that people don't believe that can
yeah,
happen coming from the hood. A little
yeah,
bit about my story. I already had 2 kids in high school, man.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Stayed in the hood, in Parkside. Ain't no
Parkside, yep.
man. Ain't that's a rarity for somebody to
That
get out with those,
with those
stripes
situations.
against you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, I gotta commend you for being that focused, because you had every excuse to go straight to the workforce to shut it down and allow basically to become another Waco story. But you
yeah,
persevered, man. That's 2 kids in high school. Yeah, normally
yeah.
that's the
Wasn't a
automatic,
good
man.
student. Never went to school on Mondays. It's crazy. I'm still telling the story now because it's real though.
Yeah,
Man, you know, financially wasn't in good spots. And it's easy to quit. In the hood was the hood.
it was what it was.
Man, could have easily sold dope. Could have easily did all the things that a kid that had the strikes against should have done. But I just kind of had some other dudes, man, in the hood would tell me, "Nah, dude, you a baller like you. Nah, this is not it." You know what I'm saying? So just
Yeah.
knowing that I ain't no fan of jail, first of all,
Yeah.
but uh, man, just to go through school and I know I'm talking too much, but to not have the
Oh,
opportunity to uh, be a starter, could have left and went to La Vega, some other school they were trying to get me to go to, but just being around Coach Jones but to get to the point, man, I went on a tryout with my best friends, Derek and Curtis. Well, Derek and David at the
yeah.
time. And man, I just, I'm thinking I'm just done. We had lost the plane on the playoffs. And Brunche had signed with Frank Phillips. Derek was going to school. Dave was going to school. Sid Sally, I believe, was going to Weatherford. I think at one time Curtis had an offer from Prairie View. He's probably about to go do that. So all the guys about to disperse. So and at the time I had 2 kids. So I wasn't planning on going nowhere, man. I was, really was going to get a job because, I ain't never have a father. So I made sure that
Yeah.
I was going to be around for my son. So weird, crazy thing about it, is man, we had just lost to Plano, man, and I'm coming out. At Baylor, the Furrow Center, the backside of it, we
Yep.
used to come out of that. There was an old John Stockton basketball book, man, and I started, practicing with it because I was going to show my sons, because it was cool to see my boys get a scholarship. So I'm going to get my boys, in that position to get this scholarship, when it's their turn. Well, I'm sitting there working out, man. And Derek called me one day and said, "Say, bro, why don't you come down here and go to this trial with us, man? Let alone, check this out. I ain't even graduate on time. I was behind the credits. So I had to graduate in August
Oh,
and end
wow.
up missing the graduation. Yeah, man, let me tell you,
Yeah.
if God ain't good, brother. But so I ended up working out I'm at behind the court, working with my
Yeah.
sons, trying to, they're young, man. And it's both of them and me. And
Yeah.
I'm working on my skill and just so I can show them and end up going out to this trial, man, and getting a scholarship, bro. And
Wow.
I wasn't gonna take it, and I was gonna go back home. And having your friends that said, "Nah, man, you should just take it, bro, and you get a hoop and stuff." And I'm thinking like I'm not leaving my boys. So I was gonna go back home because I wasn't trying to. So I get back home. Coach Simmons at the time, he was the Ranger College coach, and he called my mom that they wanted to offer me for a ride. And we end up. I ended up going to Ranger, man, and my aunt said if I didn't go, she was gonna kill me. And
Yeah.
so I ended up having like my mom being and my aunt being there to making sure my boys was all right. So that's how it happened, man. After that, man, Ranger College had a couple offers from recruiting from Pittsburgh State, Northwestern Oklahoma, Lamar University, and a bunch of other schools. I ended up choosing Tarleton to go finish my education there. So other than that, man, it's a crazy story, but just to get to where I'm at right now and going through all that, man, it's actually pretty cool story that really happened to me, and that's why I kind of got to coaching, man. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but that's why I'm here now, man. Just
No, man.
that first
Man,
opportunity, man. That first opportunity, I was running with it.
yeah, man, that's a awesome story, and you need to share that more often, man, because that's a lot of
Yeah,
perseverance to overcome a lot of that adversity. Like once again, another situation that you easily could have shut down, had every excuse to quit, but you stayed locked in. You was working.
and with some,
You working now, saying I'm preparing my kids, but at the same time, it actually that situation was preparing you for this workout that you didn't even know you was about to go into it. It's kind of like how God just kind of was pushing you along, and you
man.
had
Let me tell
absolutely
you,
no idea working to be working,
no
and had
idea.
no idea what you're working for. Then he was like, "Boom, here you go."
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's
And
what, man.
and the other backdrop to that story is it's surprising that you didn't have some type of scholarship ahead of time, even though you was on the bench. That team was loaded. That
It
Waco
was
High
loaded.
at that time, man, y'all had so much talent. They like you can constantly throw bodies and bodies at people, and that's why y'all was
Man,
so deep in the playoffs and stuff. So normally when a
yeah,
team is having that level of success, that everybody on the team it will get a scholarship on some level. So that's kind of like that kind of threw
yeah.
me off. That you like, nah, nobody. I'm like, wow, nobody like,
No,
okay, well Wow, you know what?
That's,
God still had a plan for you, brother. He still had a plan.
let me tell you,
All right, man.
it's always
So
being humble, man. Being a man of your word. That's it. You know, just being
yeah,
kind, being humble, treat people
yeah,
right. And I try to tell my kids all the time, you gotta treat people right, help folks out all
yeah.
the time, man, because you never know. God gonna give it to you when He's ready to give it to you. You know
Most
what's
definitely.
crazy? But not say that about us, man. We still have Mookie over there. Shout out to James Hall, man,
James Hall,
and
Mookie,
Jason
boy.
Davis and Drury, them, man. Them dudes was hooping, man.
You
You
see,
know what
I'm
our
about to
practice
tell
was like? For
man, I can
real.
only imagine. Yeah. Like for
Yeah,
those that
man.
don't know, it's a few people that probably watch this as well know, man. But I remember when y'all was in high school, y'all went. This is when Baylor University wasn't built up to the super college that it is now. But it was still a pretty nice sized campus and everything. And Baylor had outside courts. People from the code, people who really from the code from way back in the day,
Yeah,
they know because everybody used to go to Baylor, used to hoop outside. This particular time, uh, Baylor starting five, their starting five
yeah,
that's playing college ball end up having a pickup game against Waco High. It was Waco High seniors and a couple of juniors.
yeah.
This is
Yeah.
when
See, a lot of people
Baylor had,
know that
yeah,
starting five from Baylor. A few of those
uh,
guys at Temple, so we
when,
had already played against him a couple of times.
yep, uh, Brian Skinner. That's when he was the man. Like he ended up going to the pros and doing great
Mm-hmm.
things. But he's on the court at this time. He's not just a part of the team. He's on the court. They balling. And Waco High whooped them boys. That's how good Waco High was. For those who don't know, I just want to
Was
kind of create the picture. So I don't want y'all to think like some regular high school kids. Like nah, even in high school they kind of operate like men among boys type thing. So
yeah.
everybody was kind of disappointed when y'all got knocked off by Plano because we actually believe y'all was better than Plano. We don't even know how it happened.
We beat them earlier that year. That's crazy. We had beat them, and we knew they were good though. But we
Yeah,
had beat them in Waco earlier
yeah,
that year. You know what I'm saying? But it was a
yeah,
tight window, so it ain't like
yeah,
we blew them out. You
yeah,
know, we had beat Carter twice that year, I believe, by
yeah,
20,
yeah.
and
Hey, we
we end
just
up in and we watched Colleen beat Carter beat Colleen because we struggled with Colleen. Colleen was just
yeah,
Naomi Kim and Calvin Davis and all them boys. We struggled with them boys. They were so big, man. And we
yeah,
had a youth team. We had a 6'8", 6'9". But
yeah,
I think Calvin up on A&M and other guys end up going some other places. But we think, all right, we're gonna beat Plano, and we get to play Carter again, so we're gonna get to play them. We already know how they play. We can scout them. We're gonna be better than them. Man, we
yeah,
just couldn't get over the hump with Plano again. They played a good game, man. They really
yeah,
did.
yeah. Okay, well, when you was in college, what was your major? What did you decide to major in, and why did you
All right, I got
why did you select that major?
kinesiology. And my minor was criminal justice. You got kinesiology, man, because I always knew I wanted to coach. I always knew I wanted to work with kids. So that was the education route was something that I always wanted to do.
Okay,
Just like as a player, man, when you weren't that best player, or you the player you want to be, you just want to be around it so much. And
hmm
to coach it. And I think that's how most coaches turn to coaches, man. They just wanted to be those guys, and so I wasn't a guy, but I wanted to at least create that guy I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing
yeah,
about, that's why I picked Kanice, and in criminal justice, just kind of one of those things that they say you need to follow, know your laws, man, know what's going on, so yeah, that's why I
yeah.
picked those two.
So all right, awesome. So as you going through that transition and coming from a player, you studying to become a coach. Who was some of the mentors you was reaching out to help you reach that destination of actually becoming a coach?
Um, Man, really, I'm say I kind of got it out the mud though. I just took everything Coach Jones taught me, man. Honestly, and
Oh,
there's some great coaches. Don't get me wrong. Man, shout out to down in Killeen, man. I was under Alberto Jones for about 4 years, man, and the dude legit, like a great coach. He does his thing his way, and I did things a little different. We just kind of, we vibe well when it came to coaching thing. But other than that, I say,
yeah,
Jones, when it comes to winning, I see how it works.
yeah,
I see how it sounds. I see how it smells. I see how it all goes. So um, that's where I got a little that wanting to coach a little harder and being a little better. And then shout out to Coach Silver, man. Coach Silver, he been around everywhere, man. He coached us in summer league. And just remember how, he was with us. He's a white guy with some inner city Waco kids. And he didn't treat us no different, man. He treated just like his son, Lauren. Shout out to him too also. He treated us just like he get on his butt. He going to get on us. And that's a lot of respect for Coach Silver. Man, to this day, we still talk. So, when I got the job at Waco High, man, he was one of the first people that reached out. But other than that, man, it's kind of everything old school kind of. Coach Jones' ways, Coach from Coach Vaughn, Coach Evans. Remember Coach Evans from Wiley, man? All those coaches, man. You take a little bit of everything from all those guys, especially when they're positive, solid men. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always gravitated to guys that was doing it right, man. So those were some of the guys I try to mimic, and that's why I wanted to become a coach.
So where are all the locations that you started coaching at? Like, what was your first position as a coach? And and what are all the locations that you had coached?
Okay, so I had a business at first when I first got out of I ain't say when I first got out of college, started a business. I always knew I wanted to coach. So jumping in education, I was working over for Waco ISD, and then I ended up leaving and went to Killeen. Mm-hmm. So I started out of middle school over there, Charles Patterson, went over there, we rec shop, and then I was ended up being the athletic coordinator at Smith Middle School, went over there and we did well. And then I've been kind of sat my, feet in Killeen a little bit to where I had a name a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So everybody knew who I was. Okay. So it really came down to, picking up over Ellison or Shoemaker. I had a chance to go to Shoemaker also. But I ended up taking Killeen Ellison because I knew a lot of the kids. So I stopped at Ellison for a while. Went out to Henderson. Shout out to my boy Shannon Bennett for giving me the opportunity to go out to East Texas and work in Henderson. That's a wonderful community, man. Wonderful community. And they showed me so much love. And after that, came to the High and went there. It was my third year and decided to step down and chose another path at a higher level. And then I will be one of the assistants at MCC next year. So looking forward to that, man. Okay. Definitely looking forward to that.
I remember you telling me through a brief conversation because, I believe I want to push this out here so people can understand.
Okay.
At one point in time, you was like, hey, you had this dream job that you just wanted to, not too many people knew about. Then all of a sudden, that dream job kind of came to fruition. So what was that moment and that feeling like?
Man, it was always a dream. I think I think every one of us, like all the guys that played at the High, it was a dream to coach there. And we would always talk about it. And that was the dream job. I think probably every guy that got an education that wanted to coach was the coach at the High.
Yeah.
And when actually I was going to get a chance a year before I got here, when Coach Farley was the head coach, he wanted to hire me as his assistant. And I was at Ellison at the time, so I was leaving Ellison. I was actually trying to go somewhere and try to, set my own roots in some places. And kind of didn't work out the way it needed to work out. So I ended up going to Henderson. And like I said, Shannon was out there. Shannon gave me my opportunity, man. We did okay up there. Lost one, man. I'm telling you, this one kid was so good. Lost him to injury. And then we lost another kid in. So it was kind of up and down. With Henderson with the season-wise. But then I ended up getting sick with COVID, man. It was crazy. And I was in hospital like 12 days. So when I got out of the hospital and I was asking God what was next, and the Waco opportunity came. And I always knew it's something I wanted to do. So came down, interviewed, got the job. And once it was actually set in stone that I was actually going to be the coach, bro, I fell on my knees because I just don't understand the kid from Waco High that was walking hard with 2 kids, didn't go to class, wasn't a great student, was actually the head basketball coach at Waco High. Manifestation,
Yeah.
my man. So I truly believe in that. So, man, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was, how you have that old feeling about the high. I'm like, man, I mean, we were doing
Yeah.
this, and, to get that call that you're going to be the next high school coach, and then come where I'm coming from, and all the guys talking about to get it
Yep.
was like hitting a lottery, my man. It was like hitting a lottery. It's
Yeah.
like a truly dream come true. So
Oh.
it was a blessing, man. I'm telling you. True blessing.
Oh. So I know you was motivated to take the program because I know the program wasn't as great as it used to be. It's kind of, to speak frank, it was kind of bad. The program was bad at that time. But you was motivated to take a program from bad to good and potentially great, right? So, but within
Yeah.
that, the time period that you was there, uh, even you stated you weren't able to get it accomplished. What do you believe was the obstructions that you had to deal with that made it that made it hard for it to for those things to get accomplished, those goals to get accomplished?
Man, just understanding Waco High is not the old Waco High
Yeah,
first. Because, the first thing I thought about coming home is I'm going to have some dogs. We're going to have some dudes that's going to want to hoop. We're going to have guys that just want to get after it, that every time we went somewhere, I'm telling you, no matter where I went, people always said we had athletes and we had dogs, you know.
yep,
But when I got here, there was a really bad stigma about Waco High's kids' attitudes. They like to fight. They're not really good at basketball. They're disrespectful. They're this and they're that. I mean, it was
mm,
it was a stigma that not just the fans or people, opponents that we're playing against, also the officials, bro. And I'm not working for the Waco ISD. I'm not. It wasn't cool. So
yeah.
our babies was getting stereotyped. I'm gonna call my babies a lot of times because that's how I am
Yeah.
about them.
Hey,
But
man,
they
it
were,
feels like kids. You spend so much time with them, and I'm pretty sure how much time you spent with them and financing them on certain situations, man. They kind of
yeah,
feel like your kids. Yeah.
yeah, man. I told a couple of them, man, I need my bank account number back. Like, you gonna give my money back. But what we were trying to have to overcome was bigger than X's and O's because we had to
Oh
get
wow.
to how we carry ourselves when we travel, in the gym, in public, when you're not around coach, um, how you do things in school. It was just all that stuff. And then a lot of people know psychological. Our babies struggle, man. Like they struggle because if you're not prepared, you're not going to be confident. And if you're
Yeah.
continuously not prepared, that's when them losses start and you don't feel that you can win. So we had to try to get over that part also.
Mm,
In that part of getting kids just showing up because they haven't seen winning in a while. So getting them to want to buy into what we were selling. And look at him. I ain't no big name person, man. I ain't got all the tattoos. I ain't got what kids like now. I'm just old school guy that's want to do it the right way, though. I ain't gonna cut no corners. I'm not gonna say know everything, but I'm gonna do it right.
yeah.
So that part of it, had to be done in order for us to get to the X's and O's. And man, we actually got to that point to where, man, I'm telling you, we would travel and people always, compliment the way the boys acted, man. Always. Because when they see Waco, they
Yeah.
assume they're gonna be ratchet, they're not gonna act right, they're gonna be loud. Not basketball, not boys basketball. No, we didn't do that, man.
Nah,
Travel well,
not at
sit
all.
down. We can sit down in a good restaurant. The boys not gonna be loud. They're gonna be respectful. Ain't nobody all that cursing and acting cutting. I just didn't allow that, man. I really didn't. Ain't no walking out with your pants off your butt. No, man, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
So
That's
once we start getting benefit of doubt from a lot of people, what happened?
mm,
We started to see the guys start to develop in better young men in basketball, especially. Man, we could play. Like seriously, we can run sets. Man, I had a couple of friends that are actually big time college coaches, man, at Baylor.
yeah.
You there, boss?
Yeah. I got you.
You there?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
there. I'm here. I'm listening. I got you.
Okay.
I'm just letting you talk. I don't want to interrupt you, man. I
Yeah,
didn't say you had some friends at Baylor that was actually looking at your players and they saying these boys can ball.
yeah. They were saying they wasn't recruiting them, but they were saying, man, y'all run some great stuff, man. Like that's
Yeah,
some solid stuff you run. So now we got to a point to where we can play basketball. And this past year, man, we just kind of it's one of them things in sports, man. You got a couple of injuries. Now with
mm,
the kids in and out, if they want to stay, they want to go, and that
yeah,
stuff, and losing kids to other schools or whatever it is. We just had one of those years, man. And them boys, my boys turned around, they played well, man. And then, still we're shorthanded, man. I think this year at a big 5A, I'll say this. Waco High is not a 5A, big 5A. I ain't gonna say
mm,
small 5A. Waco High is more of a 4A because you're sure athletes. So,
yeah,
with two kids moving, waiting on the other football guys to come in to help to like give us something. And then the guys that we have, they just wasn't that experience. So trying to make all that mess and get together, and go together. And then one of my best
mm,
player, man, he had 30 points the first game. Turned around and
mm.
called he had pneumonia. And then he ended up getting it in both lungs. So he was out. I
Wow.
don't think the kid got back to 85% the whole season, man. So he was a young point guard that's going to be pretty solid, man. I think if he continue to work, he's going to be pretty good. And then
Yeah,
the other guys is developing to good players, man, good kids. Me and my boy, man, Xavier the Great, one of them kids that most people would have kicked him off. And we was at to that point, man, and I ended up keeping around the kid, ended up falling in love with me, made the honor roll for the first time his senior year.
oh,
His senior year, man. And
yeah,
now he's about to graduate, and they're about to go do their own thing. I'm actually going to take them guys out for a senior dinner tomorrow. But
yeah,
yeah, man, it's just a lot we had to try to go through to get to where we can actually play decent basketball. I don't
yeah,
think that we're doing enough because we have a really good Baylor basketball over there. We got a really good, MCC right down the street where I'm gonna be at next season. And you got Temple, you got Hill, and no Waco kids on these teams.
mm,
So there's something else that we're missing. That if it ain't football now, we getting some kids that get to go play football, but basketball. I said this before. Uh, it's Dallas, it skips Waco, then it's clean and everybody else in Houston, whatever, in San Antonio. They are really developing really good basketball players. No knocking nobody here. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
But I think we kind of falling short with the commitment to it. So that was another issue that we had, just the commitment to it, man. You got to show up every day if you want to have
So
some type of success. You got to,
is
and
it
if I'm talking too much, just let me know, man.
no, you're good. No, is it a talent level? So y'all got good talent, or the kids not being committed to the game? Once they get to the high school, or is it that kids ain't as developed as they need to be once they get to high school?
Man, it's
Because I know, like when y'all
it's a
ball, man,
commitment,
every time I seen you, every
yeah,
time
bro.
people knew y'all had a
Bro,
basketball in y'all hand. It is the kids
yeah,
in that. Are they still in that space, or are they not in that space no more?
they're not. They're not in that space. Not even close to that space.
Oh wow,
They're not. But they, social media now. They get to chill and do that. They don't go outside and hoop no more. I mean, some kids do, but not like we did, because that's all
no,
we want to get away from the house. They don't. You
exactly,
know.
exactly.
So I think what we're lacking is the commitment part. Now we got potential like crazy. I mean,
Yeah,
just some talent that's unmatchable, but we're not willing to put in the work in and develop our skill.
mm,
And we're not doing enough to stop a lot of the ones that are really, really good from being in the streets and end up getting locked up. So we can go down that rabbit hole, uh, you
yeah,
know, but we're just lacking the commitment to the game of basketball. Because you think about this, it really changed lives. Like seriously, look
Yeah,
at me, man. I'm in front of you because of ball.
yeah, most
They don't
definitely.
have to do that. It doesn't have to change their life because most of them live in decent homes.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
had that conversation about how we actually had guys that grew up in good homes but chose that particular
Yeah,
lifestyle unnecessarily. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
because for whatever reason, it was like it became like a fad. People that had
yeah,
came from grounded situations, but they chose to go that way because it became popular for whatever reason. But
yeah.
yeah, that's a conversation for
That's
another
all
day.
I tell you. Man, Waco guy,
But
I'm telling you, man. You
yeah,
know,
hey man,
shout out
the
to you,
cold's the cold.
man.
But
Hey, hey, can
when
I
you
say
were
this?
yeah, go ahead.
Conley and University and Midway and China, can we have some of my kids back? Like for real. No, shout out to
Man,
all those schools,
so
man. Long,
is that fam now, you know what? That leads me to this question then, because it was brought to my attention that Waco went through a rezoning thing, which made it possible for families to actually go to those schools. Is that true? Because I've had like barbershop type conversations, and people done brought that up. They were like, "Man, now people ain't going to these school district hearings and not paying attention to these rezonings. They done rezoned
yeah.
Waco so many times, so in so many ways, and allowed you know other schools that have access to would be kids that will go directly to Waco High. How accurate is that?
I don't, honestly, I don't know too much about that, but I'll say
Okay,
this. So I said that, but let me say this: I'm all for a kid being a better place to succeed. Telling
gotcha.
you, I am so for that. And Waco High might not be the place for some kids. I really think
Yeah,
it starts at home first, and then you won't have to worry about your kid doing whatever.
yeah,
You know how it is, man, with the kids nowadays and cliques and being liked or whatever. I had one kid that I found him in the projects, I mean, in the villages over there, and ended up being a nuisance at Waco High when he got there. And I just kept him with me, man, and got him right. Very smart kid, man.
yeah.
And got him on the AAU team, and he ended up moving on us. But
Oh wow.
but based off, they never saw him. I got him plugged into some basketball, and he started playing. And he's a good kid. He's very likable.
Yeah,
And he ended up hanging out with some couple of teams. He ended up moving to a school. I ain't gonna say no names, but uh, if he was happy doing that, and like I told the coach when he left, take care of my boy, man.
yeah.
Take care of him. If he's gonna
That's
go
all you.
out there, make sure you
Yeah,
take care of him. And
yeah,
it seems like he's doing pretty good. So it was good for him to go ahead and make that move. So like my wife told me, she like sometimes they're just a part of your journey. They don't get to
yeah.
stay long. They won't stay long, and
No,
they're gonna have to go shine themselves. So that's why I was there for him. You know what I'm saying, to get him going to where he's supposed to be going. So
oh,
a whole rezoning thing, man. I don't know, man. Honestly, I think
okay. Well,
uh,
is do you think this was it? Because this was nothing. I mean, once again, this is like barbershop type conversations.
yeah,
People saying, well, the difference is, our generation, we ain't got college, we ain't got better jobs, came back to Waco, they getting paid on a different level, so they're living in different locations. So their kids is not locked into the alma mater. Hey, we living out there in in Hewitt now, you know what I'm saying? So they living in the better sections of Waco, so now their kids are going to those will be considered suburban type schools, the Midways and the Conleys. Is that what it is?
um, yeah. Honestly, if you think about it, though, I don't think the inner city parts never they never had growth, man. Honestly, the
Yeah,
resources you think about it, ain't no resources there right now.
yeah,
It's really not. I was a project. I stayed in Stella Maxi, Park
yeah,
Top, Pecan Gardens when it was over there.
yeah,
Trimwood full of because I and those places that do nothing but go downhill. And then
yeah,
we're getting to
yeah,
that story. It's
yeah,
that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Set up that way. I'll say that. I set up that way for nothing like no one that grows. And the people that actually figured it out, they move. Not
yeah,
leaving my kid over there. Nah.
yeah,
And that's where it comes to when we talk about the dudes that want to be that.
yeah.
There's a lot of kids like that right now. They have good homes, but they rather be that.
Crazy.
So it's a situation in where yeah, people did move because based off what Waco High turned into.
Yeah.
And then we don't have the same educators.
Now
Let me
I've
be
heard.
careful
I
because I'm
heard.
still educated. But
Yeah.
we didn't have no. I say this: we didn't have no Coach Jones. You didn't have Miss Watson. You didn't have Dr. Zachary. You
Man.
didn't have Miss Polly. You didn't have Miss Moody. You didn't have Mr. Jake. You didn't have Dr. Lucy. You didn't, like those people are not. We don't have that anymore, right?
Hey,
So
for those who don't know who these people are, the names he just called, these individuals literally operated like your parent at the school. Like even
man,
if
but
they
whoop
wasn't your
your
teacher,
man. Let me
even,
tell you,
even if they weren't your direct
Coach
teacher,
Bishop,
yeah,
man,
yeah,
Coach Price. I remember Coach Price and them wonderful men over there over at University. Shout
yeah,
out to one of my most. You know what I said? Mentors. And I miss it. I got to do this. Coach
yeah,
Lloyd, man,
yeah,
one of the most solid men that you ever meet, man.
yeah.
Seriously, one of the most solid men you ever meet. And I respect him. So every time I see him, I get excited. I'm like, man, come on, I'm going to get some of this good wisdom from you because I know you're going to give me something,
Yeah.
you know? So, yeah. But the kids don't have that anymore. And what we have is people trying to survive because the school system is not at its best right now, man. And I work at Waco High. And I've watched what
Got
goes on. I don't know. We ain't supposed to get to that far yet, but,
yeah.
you know,
But okay, here's my
the kids
question.
just don't have that.
Now, because through a phone conversation that we done had before we jumped on the show, we both expressed like, wow, we're at that age now of what those educators were then. So the truth of the matter is it's really up to us. Like we must that Miss Washington, that Mr. Jacobs, that Dr. Zachary, those individuals that was in place for us. It's our responsibility to become that for this generation. So collectively as teachers, did y'all have like teachers huddles and speak about that? Or like, you know what, we
Man,
need to become more
they've been speaking
and be
about it a
more.
long time, man. I'm sorry, I didn't
So
cut you
people,
off. Man,
yeah, so people
they've
speak
been
about it,
they
but nobody was
ain't
actually
nobody doing
moving
nothing about
towards
it.
that.
Yeah, ain't nobody's doing anything
Wow.
about it. They've been really they get together and try to come up with first thing I like what you said, man. No, you can't talk about it if you don't have a solution for it.
Yeah,
And we just could never get a solution.
y'all can never get.
And I think there is a solution,
Yeah.
but we don't want to talk about that.
Oh wow.
So yeah, man. And as a black person from Waco,
Yeah.
we got to do right. We got to get it right. We got to stop doing a lot of the BS that we so fleshy and we get to, that we forget about the kids, man. I was one of them kids, and some other folks was one of those kids.
Yeah.
The first thing it goes back to now. A lot of athletes that are really successful are coming from two-parent household.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to me and being at Waco High, it's a lot of kids without fathers, like kind of what it was when I was in school.
Yeah.
So it's the conversations are being had, but they're surface conversation. I'll say that because there's a solution, my man. But we did they I don't. I praying for my babies all the time, and then the staff, people, there's some good people there. There's some good educators there. But a lot of the
Yeah.
time, the resources that you need to become a better educator, you got to get outside of Waco. No disrespect, but you got to get outside of
Yeah.
Waco.
Wow. Is it a budget thing or like what's preventing y'all from
Nah,
getting
ain't no
the
budget
access
thing, bro.
that's needed? It's not even a budget thing.
Ain't no man. I wanted to
So
send
what?
the superintendent before us in the coaches meeting said there's money there.
Yeah,
I meant, man, if you're gonna have
that
some
was
babies, take
exactly.
my salary, man. You're gonna have some babies. Well, I pretty much gave my salary back because I'm taking
Yeah.
care of babies. And I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I've been blessed enough now to do whatever I want to do in life. But for them babies, man, we going there. I'm
Yeah.
actually gonna, even though I left, and I'll be at MC. I will be going back. Me and my wife mentoring. We're gonna get a group of kids, and we gonna mentor them. You know,
Awesome.
get them on the
Awesome.
right path.
Awesome. So hindsight is always 2020. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, you see the picture better when you remove yourself from it. Being removed from the situation and looking back, what are something that because as a coach, the first thing you got to do is analyze, what you have done. What is something that you believe, like, what, maybe I could have done that one particular thing better. What would be that one particular thing? If you can change the hands of times and go back, what would be something that you would have liked to improve in what you had done?
My biggest thing, and I would say, is being an empath, giving too many chances. But I'm like that because somebody gave me a chance.
Gotcha. So you believe it?
That's just only that I can answer. Yeah. Giving too many chances, and also giving chances to folks that don't even deserve it. And that's a dose. That's a dose, man.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That was the adult.
I don't never have no problem with kids. It's always adults.
Yeah. That's the worst feeling when you feeling catching the disappointment from adults not doing what you would believe adults supposed to do. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, because we supposed to. It's easy for kids. Man, my kids don't never get. Check this out. They can come to my room and eat. Yeah, I made it comfortable for them to come. My door is always open. The worst ones come in there. Yeah, and I can get them to act right. Just being solid and straightforward. Because these kids gonna see right through you, man. I'm telling you. Yeah. They ain't no. They see you for who you are, and they won't mess with you if you are. They already know Coach Carr he old school, but he's fair. Yeah, he's fair as all get out. But he gonna let me know when I'm doing something wrong.
That's Coach Jones definitely proud.
They on my hallway cutting up.
I think Coach Jones definitely be proud of
that. Today.
Yeah, between Coach Jones and
that's him though,
and Miss Washington, that's exactly how they operate, man. When you right, they with you, but when you wrong, they go check you immediately. And the standard.
But you stood there and listened to what they had to say too, though.
Yeah,
they'll do that for me, but I just see them be so rude to some of these teachers sometimes, and then I got to go chase them down, correct. Hey, we don't do that. We don't act like that. You don't treat no teacher like that. And the first thing them kids do, they're gonna tell the truth about who the teacher is. They're gonna have something to say. They're gonna have kids, man. These kids are so observant. You do anything wrong, they're gonna get you for it. Or they're gonna tell. Yeah, Coach Carr the other day, she was so and so, and I'm like, we're not talking about that. We're talking about right now. Wow. So it's that part, man.
So the kids being so observant on everything that they see with the teacher. If they catch a teacher doing something out of pocket, they using it as ammo to or as a justification why they don't gotta respect them. So when they see them, they like, hey, I ain't talking to you or treating you with the type of respect because I actually see what you be doing, on other times.
Let me tell you, these babies been surviving, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they've been surviving, so they know how to cope with everything. Yeah. They know how to get you, like, when we gonna it's a chess game with these kids. Period. It is. It really is. And I think a lot of times when people, our babies, Waco High get criticized. Tell me if I'm jumping all over the place.
No, you good. You good.
All the stuff that goes on. I heard somebody say they will always tag Waco High with something if there was an ex-player, anybody. And these people 25, 26 years old. That's an adult. So don't still tag the high school with this grown-ass person. Palm Lanes. Yeah. Grown person.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. So, it's like the propaganda. Somebody that was a former Waco High player, they 25, 26 years old now. They done upped and made a mistake, and now they in the news behind a mistake, a 25, 26-year-old. When they hit the newspaper, when they get on the internet, the first thing they draw it to is the name of Waco High. When this person has been disassociated from Waco High for about 8 years now. So why you tagging Waco High name into something that somebody 25 or 26 is doing?
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
absolutely crazy.
the unfairness to the kids is they got to carry that burden when they do something, or they got to travel, and it don't help that the city. I don't care. I mean, I'm not there anymore, but you're kicking while they down too.
Yeah,
Why kick them while they down, man? The kids already down,
yeah,
and I was one of them kids.
yeah,
So we gonna attack them? They don't
yeah.
know, bro.
The
They don't know.
the unnecessary pile
Yeah,
on. Like it's just too easy
yeah.
to pile on. Like, and you would think adults will be more mature enough to understand the situation and don't be that, but it's like it's
They
too
never
convenient
left.
and too easy. Yeah.
They
Wow.
never left. And people might not talk to me or whatever, but I know the
Yeah.
truth because I was one of them kids, man.
Yeah.
I was truly one of them. I ain't supposed to be in front of you right now, living
Yeah.
a blessed life right
Yeah.
now, man.
Awesome, man.
So God has His way for all of us. I think sometimes when we get off that marker,
Yeah.
He's gonna let you get back there, but just how bad you want to get back there.
Yeah.
If you want to go wrong, He's gonna allow you to do so.
Yeah.
But man,
When
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, so when you was dealing with that type of adversity and coaching, mentoring the kids and trying to get everybody on a path, uh who were some people that you could lean on for assistance? Let's give them a shout out. Because in a situation like that, a lot of times you ain't able to do everything by yourself. I'm pretty sure you had somebody at a bare minimum that you can vent to and bounce uh ideas with. Who was that person for you at that time?
I since I'm here at Waco High,
Yeah, when you was at Waco High. Yeah.
man, people probably ain't gonna like this. I respect the coach Health, that football coach they just fired.
Oh wow.
Good
Okay.
man. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I only interact with good men though. I can't. As soon as I know you're not what you say you are,
Yeah.
I can't. I don't vibe in that on that level.
Got
So shout out to Mr. Freeman. Yeah, for sure.
you. Yeah.
Man, good dude, man. Got his kids over there. Hey, when they said Lion Pride runs deep, man, his wife works there. Oh my
Yeah.
God, Miss Keeley,
Yeah.
one of the best humans on this earth, man. And his
Yeah.
kids, and he's doing it, man. He's
Yeah.
shout out to who else over there I just went to. Um, not very many, man.
Yeah. Not too many.
And I'm being honest. Not very
Yeah.
many, man. Well, it's
Got
not a lot of us there. Like
you.
honestly, I don't think. I mean, and there's that big age gap difference in education too, though. Huge. I think we had a meeting over at Waco High. I'm sorry, university, and they asked how many people been in education 15 years or more, and it was only like 4 of us that stood up.
Wow.
So education to that point, they try to get. I mean, it's a shortage of teachers and people that want to do it. So
Yeah.
they're bringing in whoever wants to do it by these rules and these tests or whatever it is. But there's a lot of people that really that age difference is real.
Yeah.
So are we going to really connect with the younger staff members and stuff like that? I think some people do, but I just didn't. And I hired 2 younger guys, and it went from there. So
Yeah. Okay. So what would you like to see happen? You know what I'm saying? Like if you was able to talk to the right person, let's say the right person is watching this,
mhm.
what would be 3 things? What would be 3 things that you would like to tell them that needs to be done, that need to be implemented to improve the situation at WISD, at Waco
Uh,
High specifically?
I'm not going to put it on because it's a hard job,
Mhm.
but I put it on the community. Really,
The community.
um, man, you look at it, man. I went from a place that like the parents are so involved, man, like
Mm.
unbelievable. Even if there wasn't a parent involved, there was somebody there because it's in
Yeah.
military PCS but there was an AAU coach, there was a parent that helped with all that, got picked, kids dropped off and picked up, and I think in order for this thing to start changing, man, it's gonna be the community, man. And man, when I'm telling when I first got there, it has to be the community, and it has to be some people that has a little pool that want to go over there. I think some men's groups walk in there,
Yeah.
talk to these boys, know what they're doing. The young ladies are the same. Like some people and there's a lot of us that are not in Waco anymore
Yeah.
that these kids haven't seen a lot of success.
Mm.
They haven't. So
Yeah.
us coming back and just talking to them or showing them a way, because it's not easy for them right now. And then the community has to support. I ain't gonna say educate your child before they walk, and it starts very, very young. Preschool, don't go attack the teacher.
Wow.
Like you got to get these babies super young, and by the time I'm telling you, by the time they're in third grade, they already know how to act in school. But now, teaching is not one of those respected professions anymore.
Mm.
So that's why I say the community has to become the educators that once the babies get to the teachers, you don't have to worry about going back and forth for a teacher that probably maybe they care or maybe they don't care. You don't have to worry about that because you already know what you have taught your child or somebody else's child. This
Yeah.
is how we do things. Man, I was just, man, my wife, worked at DAEP.
Yeah.
And the number of elementary kids she told me they used to get, it's crazy.
Elementary.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
That was
Knowing that's
unheard
something
of.
kind of hit. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Normally that'll hit like at high school. Maybe middle school and somebody who just really cutting up, but nah, not
yeah.
elementary. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
But when that's happening early, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
Big problem. But
So
it's going to take.
so
The
so
solution is we got to get more. I'm telling you, I ain't going nowhere. I might not be coaching the half away guys teaching. I'm
yeah.
going to be involved. This is my
Yeah.
city too, man. I was one of these kids, so it's important for me to only help.
Yeah.
Because there's a Gary Carr running around there somewhere,
Yeah.
that don't think it's even possible,
Yeah.
not even close,
Mm-hmm.
that nobody's going to give him a chance. Because he don't probably not be clean. He probably come from the project. And the way he expresses himself is trauma. He don't know how to have a conversation like me and you having, man.
Yeah.
That's why we got to build a relationship. So yeah, it goes to community and everybody else getting involved.
Okay. Well, so that's the main thing, man. For those watching that, those that want to be interested in maybe building something like that,
Yeah.
Coach Gary Carr, man, he right there in Waco. He's looking, he's motivated into creating men's group, guys that will be willing to mentor the youth and create a better path to them, showing them a better way, you know,
Yeah.
So the main thing, especially with the young man, is in most kids probably are lacking it at home.
No,
You have to
absolutely.
you have to develop some type of structure. You got to create an atmosphere of structure and discipline. So for those that fit that frame of mind, because he's looking for individual of like mindedness. So men that's willing to kind of fill that gap that's going on and that may be lacking in households.
Yeah,
Man, look up.
it can't be look what I've done. It has to be I gotta be in the mud. I
Yeah,
gotta be stepping in the mud with the kids. It can't be gotta be it can't be that way. You
yeah,
have to be in the mud with them, man, because they
genuine.
don't know.
Yeah,
When they
yeah,
look up to some of us, man, that's all they see, man. I don't know how you got there, but you got there. But
yep.
I'm too afraid. That's one thing about black kids. They don't ask questions unless it's
That's
something
true.
they want to know.
Yeah,
They don't ask questions.
yeah,
No, man. That's why I try to tell man, if it's something that bothers you, you say something, you ask. Why?
Yeah.
And then you just got to accept the answer that comes with it, man. I tell the kids all the time, with every choice, there's a consequence, good or bad.
Yeah, it is.
It's okay to ask that question. It's okay.
Yeah, it is. Well, hey, man. Hey, Coach Carr, man, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule, man. We done scratched off a whole hour. It went by super fast.
Man, it was good,
Uh,
man.
for those that want to reach out to you, for those who may be watching this and they want to reach out to you, what are your social media handles so they can and contact you? They like, you know what? Hey, man, we willing to walk this dog with you, man. So how can somebody reach out to you and contact
Man, I actually got an Instagram. Let me look for it because, boy, I'm not social media savvy like this. So just everybody just hit my Facebook,
you? Hit you up on
Gary
Facebook.
Carr. Yeah,
Gary
hit me
Carr.
up on Facebook. Then you can DM me because all the other stuff I'm really getting away from social media. I like my fishing and now I'm trying to pick up a golf club right now, so I'm very bad at it, man. So
Yeah, hey, so you got to
but
keep
man,
practicing.
I appreciate this.
Hey, man, no
Man, you
problem,
got to
man.
keep. But I appreciate this because for a long time I just stayed quiet because I've always been a quiet dude. I think that's what people understand. That's how I got to where I got.
Yep.
I just did my job and kept moving.
There
And
you go.
I wasn't boisterous and like I said, but I always respect every situation, every man, every woman, every child. I've always give respect to everybody. And I did the same thing with you, man. I've always respected you and how you handle business. Even when I knew you wasn't clean up there and you was doing your military thing, you started your business. I was like, salute, 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 salute. So I mean, I really want change for our city, man. For these babies, though.
Yeah,
And
most
there's a lot of change going on right now that we have to start informing ourselves with how things are going to go next, man. Because our kids, their future is very important.
Absolutely.
And we have to make sure we're getting to these elements, get them early, man. Get them earlier because I'm looking at all the violence that we have in Waco, and it's been like that for a long time. But why though? I know why. Not informed, man.
Not
informed.
informed. A lot of time is acting out. We're dealing in a time and space where it's almost accepted and expected, and people like, well, I'm
Man.
giving you what you want. I'm giving you what you expected. So we,
Yeah.
as a community, we just got to change our expectations. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
Like, you expected to act this way and not that way. Your expectations, because believe it or not, your kids are competitive and they'll meet your expectations, but you got to set the boundaries
Absolutely.
and agree of what your expectations are. So we just need more,
Yes.
so that's gonna be the main reason why you go, you slowly but surely go create this community group that's going to change the expectations of the youth. And then once they start seeing
a lot of,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, so and once they start seeing the impact from that, then kids is gonna meet your expectations, man. Miss Washington, she said her expectations.
Yeah.
Mr. Jacobs, she said his expectations. Mr. Zachary,
Man.
Coach Jones,
but the thing is, you're not even gonna challenge it though. You're not challenging it.
Yeah.
Man, I'll be seeing Mr. Zachary in school, and the next day I'm running across the creek. Remember the pole in the hood used to run across? Mr. Zach stayed right there. He'll stop me, man, boy, go over there and go to the stove.
Yeah.
And give me this and this, and come back, he gonna give you a quarter, and you in high school.
Time to change, Mr. Zach. Yeah, man.
Man, much respect because he was fair too, man. But man, I appreciate you, boy. Like I mean that, man. Anytime you want to talk, and you just off here and just chop it up. I still got some questions for you about the box truck or the transportation.
Hey, bro. Hey,
hopefully,
whenever you want to talk about it, bro, we definitely can do that.
Yeah,
man.
For sure. I'm definitely
trying
to get it going, man.
Yeah, you got my cell phone direct, man. We can hit it up, man. Everything that I know, man. I download it to you, man. Make sure you got it, man. But appreciate you jumping on the show, man.
All right, salute, my brother. Appreciate you, man. Positive vibes only, baby.
Take your coaching and training to the next level. My Athlete 360 invites coaches to create professional profiles that showcase their experience and talents to parents seeking their services and organizations all in one platform. Start by downloading My Athlete 360 and selecting Coach Trainer at Sign Up. Enter your email, create a secure password, and you're ready to build your professional profile. It's that simple to begin your digital journey. Next, add your name, a professional headshot, and contact information. This builds trust with parents and athletes searching for coaches. A polished profile is your first step to standing out in the coaching community. Highlight your coaching specializations and certifications. Add your coaching philosophy and experience details. Parents seek qualified coaches for their athletes' development, and your profile is your chance to shine. The app also features a link tree within the profile that coaches can use to put all of their social media and business website in one place. Remember, your expertise is your selling point. By showcasing your skills and experience, you attract the right athletes and parents who value your unique coaching approach. Set up your training packages, pricing, and availability. My Athlete 360 allows parents to book with trainers and coaches directly through the app, simplifying your business operations. This allows you to focus on developing athletes while the platform handles the rest. Your professional coaching profile is now live. Parents with athletes ready to train and develop can discover you, book your training and coaching services, and communicate directly through the platform. My Athlete 360 handles the business side, so you can focus on what you do best, developing great athletes. Download My Athlete 360 today and elevate your coaching business. Youth organizations with multiple coaches are also encouraged to create profiles. Parents are always actively looking for you. Use the link in the bio to get started. Questions about profile features? Drop them in the comments below. Let's revolutionize your coaching journey together.